So after our epic stop in Portland, we started making our way down the coast. We hit up Highway 101 and just started heading south. Now this is an amazing drive. It's dramatic coastline, beautiful beaches, lush forests, and camping all along 101. There are cool features like the Devil's Punch Bowl, which is sort of this hole carved out of the rock. So our next stop was Coos Bay in the town of North Bend. So we stayed in the Bluebill Campground, which is inside the Siuslaw National Forest. It was a nice back inside with some blackberry bushes at the back for snacking. Most of the time at the site, we were encased in fog, but it made those sunny days that much more special. Macy enjoyed watching the birds in the bushes. It was a short bike ride down to the beach where you could swim if you're willing to brave the cold, and also see a staging area for ATVs, side-by-sides, off-road vehicles of all kinds. Had a very Mad Max vibe. If it's your fantasy to drive off-road vehicles on the beach as fast as you want, this is the place to be. There are all kinds of crazy vehicles out here. Near our campground, we saw these signs for Clausen oysters, so we knew we had to stop by. Apparently it's the largest oyster farm in the state of Oregon. I have to say, I love these West Coast oysters. They were sweet, spicy, less briny than an East Coast oyster, I would say. You always have to taste test the raw and the fried stuff at these places, and the oyster po' boy was to die for. I had to work a few days while we were there, and I discovered this amazing place, Books by the Bay. It's a used bookstore / cafe, had amazing internet, and the best part was Christina would surprise me at the end of the day. One thing you always have to do when you're traveling like this is talk to the locals. And one of the baristas recommended we get some dungeness crab from a local fish market. So Christina and I went to the seafood market and got some dungeness crab, and we were so excited to cook these things up. We also tried to introduce some different species here just to see if they could communicate. Macy was intrigued, and luckily she didn't get her other ear clipped. These dungeness crabs are quite possibly the best single item we had on the entire trip. They were so succulent, so fresh, so sweet. It was certainly the best crab I've ever had. I highly recommend if you're in this area, take advantage of the seafood, get some oysters, get some dungeness. This is some of the best seafood in the world. Another thing we'd seen a lot of signs for were dunes, and we're really curious where all these dunes were. So one day we took a hike at the John Dellenbach Dunes trailhead, and it's kind of cool. You start in this forest and then it opens up to these huge dunes that seem to go on for miles. Now, one of the really cool things about these dunes were they had these tree islands, which were like mini forests among the dunes. So immediately I thought, what a great place if you need to like dip out of society to escape. So I had to explore. These tree islands were so lush and so dense, like miniature Edens. I tried to go down into this one, but the sand you just sink in it. It was really a workout, honestly, to try to climb out of this thing.
I don't want to let her go.
Probably shouldn't.
She'll kill all the chipmunks. A little hunter.
So for our last dinner in Coos Bay, we dined at the Portside restaurant. And right when we showed up, we noticed this woman was setting up karaoke. And Christina asked about it, and the woman was kind of standoffish. She didn't want to let Christina sing, but after some convincing, she relented and let Christina join their little friend group to sing a few songs. Big deal. I just parallel parked the trailer. Oh yeah. We couldn't get enough of that fried seafood, so we had to stop for another round on our way out of town. Look at this single fried oyster. Next, it was on to the redwoods. Being a 5 to 6 hour trip, we had to split up the drive, so we ended up spending a night at the Pistol River Scenic Viewpoint. 101 is just peppered with these amazing pull-offs where you can spend the night, and we took full advantage. We spent the evening on the beach, got an amazing sunset, and loved every minute of our view.